Welcome to TOEFL Writing Test, Task 1, Integrated Writing. What it is: read a short passage and listen to a lecture on the same topic. The lecture usually supports or contradicts the reading. Time: 20 minutes. What to do: summarize the reading and explain how the lecture relates to it using specific details. Focus on the relationship, not your opinion. Headphone lecture script, imagined audio. Professor: while the reading passage presents vertical farming as a sustainable solution, real-world studies have shown that it faces major economic and practical challenges that make it far less feasible than it appears. First, although vertical farming uses less land, the costs of construction and energy are extremely high. Building tall, climate-controlled facilities in urban centers requires enormous investment, and the electricity needed for artificial lighting and temperature control often outweighs the environmental benefits. As a result, many experimental vertical farms have failed financially. Second, the claim about resource efficiency is misleading. While water use is reduced, energy consumption skyrockets. Plants grown under artificial light need constant illumination, and maintaining airflow and humidity control demands continuous electricity use. In many cases, the carbon footprint of a vertical farm can exceed that of traditional agriculture. Lastly, while the concept promises year-round production, it is still limited by the types of crops that can grow efficiently indoors. Leafy greens and herbs thrive, but staple foods like wheat, rice, and corn are impractical for vertical systems due to their height, growth time, and space requirements. Thus, vertical farming can only supplement, not replace, traditional agriculture.
The lecture challenges the reading passage's claims about the importance of a planet's magnetic field for supporting life. First, the professor disputes the idea that a magnetic field is essential for retaining a planet's atmosphere. While the reading suggests that solar wind would strip away gases without a magnetic field, the professor explains that a planet's gravity and a cold upper atmosphere are more critical factors. For instance, even Mars has retained some atmosphere despite a weak magnetic field, showing that protection from solar wind is not solely dependent on magnetism. Second, the lecture questions the argument that the magnetic field is the primary defense against radiation. The professor notes that a planet's atmosphere itself provides a significant shield against high-energy cosmic rays and stellar flares. On Earth, life on the surface is mostly protected by the atmosphere rather than by the magnetic field, suggesting that radiation defense does not rely exclusively on magnetism. Finally, the lecture casts doubt on the reading's link between magnetic fields and beneficial geological activity. While a field indicates internal activity, this does not guarantee that the activity is balanced or life-supporting. Excessive volcanism, for example, could threaten life rather than sustain it. Thus, the lecture presents strong evidence that a magnetic field alone is an incomplete indicator of a planet's habitability. Word count, 200. I agree that technological progress is accelerating, though I also see some merit in Sam's caution. Compared to past eras, innovations today spread and impact society much faster due to digital networks. For example, smartphones, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing have transformed communication, work, and education within just a decade. Lena is right that this rapid pace creates a digital divide. People who cannot access the newest technologies may fall behind socially and economically. However, Sam makes a valid point that fundamental scientific breakthroughs, like quantum computing or fusion energy, do not necessarily occur exponentially. Still, the speed at which new devices, software, and services reach millions of users is unprecedented. Overall, I believe the acceleration of applied technology is real, and while it brings enormous benefits, it also requires society to adapt quickly to avoid inequality and disruption.